And let's do it. We're going to jump into Sealed Guilds of Ravnica. This account has 4x of every rare and mythic, so even the 6 packs we're going to open give us some significant gem value back, even if they're all rares. We get 120 gems just for entering the event, and we get a guaranteed 200 gems for 0 wins. So in a sense, this event is 320 gems cheaper than it indicates, but even at 2,000 minus 320, it's still a pretty big gem consumer. But I do love the format, and we're on the paid account where we're not worrying about whether or not the monetary value is optimal. We are worrying about whether we're playing the Magic we want to play, and chat was loud and clear that we were doing this today, so that's cool. Hey, Queen. Yeah, plus gems. Yeah, that's right. So actually, we should add that too. There's at least 3 packs, so the minimum is 60 gems on top of what I said. So it was what 120 plus 180 plus 200. So it's 380 is your minimum. And if you get any mythics, which you ought to, like on average, you should probably get a mythic. So it's really actually about 400 gems on average, cheaper, I would say. Here we go. Dimir. No Dimir except Unmoored Ego. And Light of the Legion and Aurelia say we're probably playing us some Boros, but Trips Golgari has something to say about that as well. But generally, you're going to be driven towards your power rares here. Right on, Fellheimer. Get them started young. I did a lot of gaming with my my like 3-month-old strapped to the front of me. Yeah, Vraska, although Assassin's Trophy, has proven to be quite fair. You don't want to use it too early, and sometimes your opponent is a little stuck on colors, and you don't want to help them, that kind of thing. But it's you're still going to run it every time. And Troll, I think Troll is underrated. People kind of bag on it, but it doesn't need to do much. It doesn't need to survive for too many turns before it's worth it. He loves Magic. It's delicious, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue and see what the support is. So let's look at our gold cards. So Arena is pretty awkward for Sealed, unfortunately, but you do what you can. And I like looking at the gold cards to see where the support is. Let's look at them closer, though. And let's look at Golgari here. Golgari? I say Gary, and it sounds wrong. Golgari sounds a little better. I don't know. Worked there for 7 years. I still don't know how to pronounce Magic stuff. So nothing really except the Fine Broker is great. Obviously, we'll take that. And the Guild Mage, that's not bad. So some support for that. Didn't we have... What was the other... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, why isn't it moving? I knew we had some other good stuff. So that's decent. That's decent. And then let's look at the Boros situation. Justice Strike, great. Fresh-faced Recruit, solid. True Fire, also great. So some support there. Now let's reset this. And go back to, like, I think maybe this. Maybe I should be doing it this way while we're looking at cards. That makes more sense. Oh, and also, gosh, screen, thank you. I just realized as Banana Jack reminds me, I realize I must be in your way. Let me get to the deck building. I'll hide up here. You've never seen people play the Troll, huh? That's funny. It's totally playable. I mean, you get stuff in your graveyard, and if you get 3-4 creatures in your graveyard and a couple in hand, and if they don't have answers or removal, you're in great shape. So now we'll take a look at... let's narrow it down. Let's look at uncommons. Again, it's just awkward to try and look at your whole pool on Arena. So I like to look at it in chunks like this and just get an idea of where we're at. Like, there's a disinformation campaign, but I don't know what kind of support we have for it in terms of the surveil. And obviously our rares kind of push us away from that unless we end up with the ability to splash. We could do Dimir splash the Golgari stuff. So now I want to see what our surveil is like. So I'm going to do a keyword search again, trying to get into, be able to clump my cards a little bit. Well, we do have the Trips Disappearance. It's not where I'd like 3 uncommons with, or 3 commons with Surveil written on it. I'd rather see Deadly Visit or whatever, or Watcher in the Mist, but this may be dictated by, like, also what land we have. Let's look at our lands. So maybe there's, I think the Dimir Dream is a stretch in the face of the power of the other colors. So let's start by doing a straight green-black and see what that looks like. And then we'll do a similar look at Boros. I don't think... Yeah. Poisoner. Child is playable, but probably cuttable. Same with Snitch, to the point, though, that I'm going to leave it out. Main deck, 1 Vapors, 1 Shade. Never Happened is better in Sealed because you're trying to pluck, you know, their bombs out of their hand before they cast them. Bats is playable. Dowser's playable. Beetle? Harpooner is good. Utopia suggests a splash is possible if we wanted to go, you know, splash something, you know, blue or white. Maybe we could even, you know, splash the that angel or something. Yeah, did we have... I didn't see Gateway... Oh, man, that's thanks for calling that out. I must have missed the Trips Plaza, because that does... Trips Plaza changes a lot. It means we could do a lot of different things. Thank you for the follow there. Yeah, let me go back and look at that, because that's a big miss on my part. Yeah, I just missed... They were down here and didn't catch my eye. Having 5 lands toward Dimir Splash Golgari bombs is... Ah, that's why. So they weren't there. Got it, got it. Glad I am not that spaced. So we'll probably have to look at a Boros build, but now I kind of want to do this. Now let's take a look at what this looks like. That's actually exciting. It makes it pretty slow to have all these pay 2 mana to play your lands, but if it sets up this incredibly powerful combination, you know, of cards, it makes the deck power great, then I think it's probably worth it. And we have because the green that we're excited about is pretty splashable stuff, except for the Fine Broker. So let me see what that looks like. Now I'm interested in seeing if my beloved Dimir is available to us. Because we got that. That's great. Stroke is great in this format. Erasure. Cover Up we would play. At least 2 of those we would play. We want the Indrik. See, the card quality here just goes through the roof when we push it to 3 colors. And we could even run this Gargoyle, and that would be good. Short West, I'm not even impressed with the Snitch even when I am kind of doing Surveil stuff. I'll put it in the mix. We'll take a look at it. It may be a curve consideration, but the fact that I didn't like Snap put it in, it shows you my current opinion on it. We could go the Utopia plan, but this would be... I want to look at if it's Dimir Splash Green first, basically. Fine Broker on a splash is rough, even though we have a very strong splash here. I'm still considering green a splash. Oh, that's... So let's cut this and this. See what this does in terms of... that's... Maybe we can't do the troll with this few creatures. I like this in a drafted with, you know, your classic 18 creature green black deck. I don't know about it in this configuration though. I don't know if it makes the cut with what we're trying to do here. Exactly. Rats and cats feed the trolls. Well, maybe I'm just pushing it, trying to be Dimir here. Like, our Dimir isn't that great. It's not like we're playing bombs. The campaign is fine and Erasure's fine, but I think we are just better off if we... I think we're looking at green-black versus the Boros, right? Like, maybe green-black splash for Insight is something we could do. This is a very powerful card in Sealed. But I think we have to play the black and green. Like, our black support is better for the green-black stuff than our white-red support is for... Let's take a look at that real quick, too. I'm just going to kind of rule out... Make sure we're not supposed to be Boros here. Yeah, no, Draconis, I'm not eliminating Boros yet. I want to go take a look at it, too. We haven't really done the deep look at Boros. I'm not against it. In fact, if you can pull off... Like, sometimes you get the draft deck-looking aggro Sealed, in which case it's extra powerful because people tend not to be ready for it. And this is also where this interface stinks. I really want to be able to save out this Sultai deck we have going and then make a separate Boros deck and kind of be able to look at them separately that way. And it doesn't really allow you to do that. But yeah, Boros looks very solid as well. But I want to see it curve. Let's see where's its twos. How many? That's the thing that usually happens with these sealed decks. You're like, oh, it's here, and then you find you don't have the twos. We do have one. This is playable. I'll call it 2, 3, 4. And that's where I become unhappy with the Boros sealed approach, right? Yeah, I can take a screenshot and stuff. I mean, that's how you have to do it. It's just annoying to have to do it that way. Would we play 4 2-drop Boros? That's the thing. There's some strong cards here, but it does not have the for sure 2-drop that you really want to see out of a great aggro Boros deck. Hey, 10. Fink has a workaround. Looks like what does Fink say? Click done and go back and remove the cards and build a new deck. When you go back to your old deck, leave and discard. So yeah, save it and then go back. Well, let's get back to. We do want to look at that Boros deck, right? So that's mainly what I wanted to check out. That sometimes you just look right there and you can eliminate. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's got some good rares, but we don't really have the depth and can't really do it. But it looks like we might have the depth there. But I want to finish this this look at the Sultai colors first. And I was saying, I think we just have to give up on the dream of a heavy blue and maybe splash Insight in a green-black. And so then if we do that, we're putting this stuff back in. Probably that. Guild Mage. Troll gets back in because we're going to up our creature count significantly in this version. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're already up to 17. Disdainful Stroke is a splash. That's interesting. We can put it in as a at least a discussion point because I get what you're saying. Like everybody's playing these strokeable bombs in Sealed, so it's a very good late game card. We could get rid of the Snitch here for sure. Maybe Vapors is a little... Yeah, I like Vapors better when we were playing around in Surveil space. Also, it kills our bats. If we play the Gargoyle kind of demands that we run a bunch of plazas. I think we cut the Gargoyle so that we can cut plazas. That leaves only 15 creatures, which is not amazing for... Like we could put in stupid Ceratox to up our creature count. And we didn't get any like rats and cats, which would have been nice for this deck. Let's get the blue out of view. Yeah, another thing we can do is look at our white as a splash. You know, that's a consideration. Splashing Light of the Legion with 3 Gateway Plazas, a Selesnya Gate, and the oh, sorry, I was thinking that was the... Oh, yeah, we do have... I thought we had Urban Utopias. Yeah. No, we'll run into Burglar Rats, though, I bet. We'll still get the memes, don't worry. I don't know if it's worth bending over backwards just to run Light of the Legion. I think this is looking pretty strong here. So let's cut... Oops, no, sorry. Let's cut the white out of this consideration. Get back to this. Need to cut one card from here, though. Where are we at again? 16. I think I really want to cut a spell. This Child Knight is not very impressive, though. And it kind of leads me back to the Stroke. But I get the point. I get what you're saying. Stroke is going to counter some important stuff in this kind of sealed format. But I don't want to cut the Insight. Adding Dimir Locket. I don't like splash lockets because they're so hard to crack. And I want to be able to crack my lockets when I really need to. So that's my thought there. I'd rather just run the Insight. Maybe... all right, make a choice, Ryan. Let's get to playing. I mean, this is so meh. All right, I'm just gonna cut the Ceratok. We're a little light on creatures for where I think I want to be for things like Troll and the undergrowth mechanics that we have. But I don't want to bring in weak creatures. I'd rather just run the strong spells. Okay, let's figure out what we're doing here too. Don't need all of these plazas, but we need like maybe... No, I'm going to keep the double plaza because of the Find Broker. I was thinking of cutting a plaza for an island. Rob, what else would you want to cut? What do you want to cut to add a locket? I mean, it's not a bad idea because also we have 5s and 6s, so we are ramping. Hey Zach, yeah, we're sealed. So if you want that, we need to know what we're cutting. But let me add some lands while you consider that. Oh, but never happened. That's like preemptive Disdainful Stroke. So good. 7, 8, 9, 10 green, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black, and 3 blue. 10, 10, 3 seems good here. So if we want to add a locket to this, we need to decide, you know, what spell is coming out. And Rob wants to take out Never Happened. Sure, locket is better off the top in the late game, but Never Happened. Like we have some tools. We have Price of Fame and Deadly Visit here, but Never Happened plucking super important stuff out of their hand and sealed. Like the density of powerful cards in like broken cards in Oppo's deck is just higher in sealed. That's why I lean towards running the Never Happened. Let me start the Never Happened, and maybe we'll change it up. But I get your point. We'll ask the question: do we wish Never Happened was a locket? When do we wish Never Happened was a locket? And when do we wish? When are we happy that we have a Never Happened and not a locket? We are gonna call it Never Locket. Similar feeling. I really like the suggestion of adding stroke. I think these two are a concession to the fact that we're playing sealed in a format with very powerful, expensive rares. We'll see if they do the job that we have them in the deck for, which is to help shore up our defenses against what will surely be our opponent's bombs. Right? Everybody's playing their bombs, so let's do a. That's my reasoning. Never sure if I'm correct, but as long as I can at least tell you what I'm thinking, it's not just making it up. And I'm going to remember to change my scene to the battlefield. We were going to come back in, though, and do you want to look at Boros? I mean, I do like this deck. I think the the plazas allowing to splash this make it really interesting. But yeah, this is where we can at least look at Boros in real time and just not save it if we decide it's not better than what we just saw there. And take a quick look. Make sure we don't want to do this. I don't think we're playing those. Yeah, well, maybe we'd play a Rage. We'll take a look at it at least. Really hope to not have to play the Halberdier when we have 2 bodyguards. But we'll remember it's up there. Probably playing at least... I don't know. We'll take a look at that. Definitely that. Definitely that. Yeah. Yep. Oh, nope. And here we have our problem. Not only is it lack of 2s that we can play on 2, but really lack of depth. But yeah, I guess Sergeant, we would have to run the Sergeant, I think. It's funny that they really shouldn't remove the plot. I guess, I don't know. Like, if they're willing to put an Is It Guildgate here when I have it sorted by red and white, it should really show me these plazas here. This is just, this is like a bug. It's a, it's a really, that really ought to be fixed. Yeah, that's a good question. Probably. God, doesn't even, not even if you sort by gold. Funny. Yeah, I don't know what they, I guess since it doesn't have, that's weird. Anyway. So we would do something like that. But then, I mean, then you're like, really? We're doing plazas in a Boros deck to support the Sergeant? Like, that just feels bad. So, as much as I like Our Lady Aurelia and the Light of the Legion, I don't think this deck has what it takes. Is it Splash? Aurelia could be something, although we would not play the Light, I would think. We can take a quick look at that. Oops, while we're here. Splashing Justice Strike and Aurelia. And we're kind of doing a piston fist thing here almost. I mean, this is fine. This is, it's got Aurelia, Justice Strike, some removal, this isn't bad, actually. I'll screenshot it, but I don't think it's better than, at first glance, I don't think it's better than our Boros, or sorry, our Golgari. So I'm going to go home. We're going to discard changes. That should allow us to verify. Yeah, I think this just has the depth we need, so... Follow the bombs. Let me get my record straightened out here. Okay, got those stuff updated. Here we have a never happened that I wouldn't mind if it were a locket or a never happened. So that's a kind of a point in Locket's favor, I suppose, that we're happy with either early, although I'm happier with never happened early. Obviously also depends on where our mana plays out from here. Do we want to put a counter on the Poisoner or just make the Beetle a 2-2? Probably just leave the Beetle a 2-2. It's kind of fancy play syndrome to put it on the Poisoner just be... Although it does get an attack for 2 in. It does attack for 2 more, so we'll keep that in mind, but still probably not correct, I don't think. Because you're looking to trade off a Poisoner, and it doesn't really get that much better in terms of doing the job you put it in the deck for by putting a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, it seems all right. It just gets extra damage in, but then the Beetle, like... So we get 1 extra point of damage in, but then the Poisoner isn't much better than it used to be, and the Beetle is significantly worse than it used to be, so I'm actually going to not do that. We're gonna Beetle itself. Although I guess if we had Severed Strands... I didn't think about that. Now... I really should have thought about... The Severed Strands gave the Beetle something to do. So that's... It's a so significant I may just eat my mistake here and put it on the Poisoner after the fact. I think it probably doesn't matter too much at this point, because both of these are going to trade for a creature effectively. I am going to put it on the Poisoner, I guess. Yeah. Don't make pride mistakes when you realize you've made a play mistake, right? And here we could do the Severed Strands, but I'm just going to never happen their hand now. And then we'll see if the way is clear. Because another thing Never Happened does here is lets you just really disrupt their plan and establish whether the coast is clear for something like a Bartizan Bats dominating the sky. So let's see what we get up top. Conclave, Tribunal, yeah, and it looks like, so we get rid of the Tribunal. And then we have removal for whatever we want, like for the Sprite, and then the bats can get through the rest of it. It's a little, and then these are big, but we have the Death Touch and the Strands. We have a Foragers as well. So yeah, let's get rid of the Tribunal. And pride mistake would be like, well, I don't want to show the opponent that I made a mistake by casting the Beetle after combat and missing a point of damage. So I'm going to put the counter on the Beetle, even though I thought it through, and because of the Strands, I kind of want the Beetle for the Strands. You know, that would be a pride mistake, like not wanting to kind of show that you misplayed. I mean, I've seen people do it. Like, oh crap, if I do the correct play now, I reveal to my opponent that I punted. And there were people who will intentionally punt a second time to avoid revealing to their opponent that they punted the first time. We could play the gate to have foragers on 5, but I want to get the bats going. This gives it menace. Oh, that is kind of annoying. That's for sure annoying. But so that makes me want to get the bats in the air all the more. Let's see if we can get the bats clocking in the sky. All right, they got land now, so they can... Oh, yeah, that's strong. We gotta consider the follow-up creatures that the glaive is gonna be... can be put upon. I think I'm going to take the 5, and we'll strands the Gorgon. It's expensive to equip the glaive, so it is a significant setback for them to have to re-equip, and Deadly Visit is perfect. We just need to sit here making them pay with removal to equip this glaive. And here we get to... severed strands, the Gorgon, and ditch the beetle. Yeah, I think we could do that too. After this game, remind me and we can go set that. I just don't think I've set it. I think I got those, right? Weren't they? No, maybe that's a package you had to buy and we didn't buy it on this account. Or maybe they probably bought the Boros package or something, and it specifically came with the Boros gate or something. I'm not sure about all those packages, honestly. Checking our graveyard for this fine broker we drew. I really want to make them equip. We can get the bats back with the fine broker if they block here. So let's keep the pressure on. And we'll do that right now. Just get that right back. Nothing we know of in their hand can deal with the incoming bat, and we have a really nice race against that heavy equip cost on the glaive. If they go for one of their 2 known creatures that can attack us here, they're spending a whole nother turn getting the glaive on it for 1 good attack, and then we Deadly Visit, and they're so far back at that point. Rob asks, do you think the 50 war packs for $50 on Arena is a good deal? I compared that to the cost of spending $100 on gems and then spending a bunch of gems to buy 50 packs, and the value looks about identical. So I think the value proposition of that package is about the bling that comes with it. Basically, by pre-ordering it, gets you free bling is my read on that that offer. We are not going to block the Rosemane Centaur the first attack, so we're going to go ahead and send in the Poisoner, because if they want to block with a Poisoner, we're happy with that outcome. It's more cost-effective, but not much more, right, Wolf? I mean, I know there's not an exact math on it, so I kind of just added up some bundles, and it looked very close. I didn't get it down to the cent or anything, but the value proposition looked very, very close and the bonus seemed to be mostly the cosmetics. No, just cast it. Summoning sick. It had died, and then I reanimated it with the Fine Broker. That's why you forgot that it was sick. Yeah, the chicken wing pricing chart is amazing. That is one of my... it is amazing. Yeah, it is great. Yeah, so they were going to take the slam that we knew we would here, but we get the Deadly Visit to set Oppo back so far that they're going to have a hard time winning this game. We have one creature that's not going to change the clock or anything, so we're just going to visit now. Maybe by visiting they'll save us the attack and just scoop. We'll ditch. Yeah, that looks correct. We'll happily take the Guild Mage, but ditch the land. And we get the all attack. They get a free block on the Fine Broker, but maybe I shouldn't have attacked the Fine Broker, because like one way we could lose is I don't know what they've got here. Like, I don't want to lose to something hasty when we knew they had a free block here. So a suboptimal. No need to test them on that.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
I told you we'd get the meme. Hopefully this is Oppo thinking about their impending doom and how they can't quite find a way around it. Bash, my 16-year-old son, made that for me when I told him about how playing with the Burglar Rat always brought that snippet of that Public Enemy song into my head. And so I showed him where the snippet was and told him to make me a meme, and that's what he came up with. Tribunal buys Oppo some time. That's good. But we get... With two creatures, we can at least make the Fine Broker... Basically, we're going to put it on the Fine Broker so that both of our attacks kill the wall. Well, Zach, we could sit down and calculate the cost of that meme in US dollars from my son's birth to the delivery of that meme, and I think you'd be pleased on that axis at the very least with your decisions in life. I have two kids. My daughter turns 18 in about a month, and my son is 16, as mentioned. All right, so the worm has to be blocked, but by only one creature. It'll probably... So, yeah, they're not dead. It goes eat, chump, take 2, then stare at 6/4 and 2/2 plus both of these. So whatever, we go ahead and attack. I don't think we need to. They're out of cards, right? They're completely out of cards. So the Fine Broker, they get... Oh, that's fine too, if they want to do it that way. right. As expected, that was too much to overcome unless they pulled... I don't know if, like, Ritual of Soot would have gotten them out of that or something, but they were in sweeper territory for sure. All right. I like that. For those of you who did not catch the stream yesterday, we got paired with Reed Duke in a Clear the Mind mirror that lasted an hour and 15 minutes. It's probably the most intense, cool match of Magic I've played on this stream. That's available on yesterday's VOD, and I also isolated out that that match, so it's the first match in my collections of... I thought it was. We got rid of a key removal spell, and we had plenty of mana. This is not the right combination of stuff, so I'm going to throw it back. This looks a little better. Down on the bottom for now, though. Get the plaza online here. Don't want to trade with a locksmith. Hey, Hanthor, thanks for that. Gorgon is acceptable. Hopefully Oppo is not doing anything with their turn. Although they paused there, so let's keep that in mind. They've got an instant of some kind for their mana. There's a lot of possibilities, so hard to narrow it down, but we should be keeping in mind things like Sure Strike, the bounce spell. Demir Gate with no other plays here, so we can drop that. Well, Banana, I think my lofty goals are things like medium streamer, so, you know. Yeah, some of those, I go to some big streamers and the constant flow of text is like, it does lose something. I would almost want to put the sub chat on there to maintain, but that feels weird too, to just say you have to sub in order to even say anything. I don't know. Big streamer problems. I don't know. They're all theoretical for me at this point. Still don't want to send in to trade with any of those. Stuff is dropping. I'm just going to go Dowser here. Got shields down from Oppo and nice big body to potentially start attacking and keep this ground attack continuing to stall. Not going to make any offers there. Yeah, that makes sense, Wolf, that the context of the conversation would change at that point. Well, I don't see anything I want to strands here, so we'll just dump our hand, try and find some action. Right on, Banana Jack. Final stage of that job interview. Oh, I thought, sorry, I hope I didn't jinx anything. I thought you were saying you got the job. Maybe you were just saying that it went really well, but awesome. I hope it continues to go well and it results in a offer you're excited about. That would be excellent. Well, with a guild mage and not much else to do, I'm more inclined to... Now we can, like, attack with the Gorgon, leave the Poisoner back to still hold off the Boar. But if they want to block the Gorgon... Well, I guess we can attack with either one, because they do get +1, and then the Child trades with either... Yeah, we'll attack with the Child and the Gorgon on the... and threaten the guild mage activation. Although I have to do it or else it doesn't get the menace and they can single block, so got to do that first. Justice Strike the Lifelinker. Not what I would have chosen, given that blocking the Gorgon involves a 2-for-1. But maybe their plan is just to never block the Gorgon. I'm down with that as well. Golgari Guildmage is good, especially in sealed where things are going long like this, and having the aggro... I like Guildmage that has a defensive side and an aggro side. You know, the, we're stalled out, I'm going to gain some life, or, we're not so stalled out that I can't get some attacks in with the ability. Alright, well... Okay, if you're going to do that, we're going to go here with the Sergeant, or here with the Poisoner block. That explains a little more why they chose the Child of Night. They were really looking to get into a race here. The Deadly Visit helps a lot, though. We're still behind in the race, though, so let's Deadly Visit the... Actually, I'm going to Deadly Visit the Drake and threaten the Boar on with the Gorgon on the ground, and then sit behind the Guild Mage. Well, it also depends on what we scry or surveil here. Alright, that's 2 very nice spells. Let's get the Stroke in hand first to protect against incoming, and then we'll take the removal spell after that. Now we're gonna have no attacks. Back on D. Ready to gain some life, if I can remember. Which is no guarantee. Gain life, gain life, gain life, gain life. Don't forget. Gain life, gain life. Huzzah, I remembered. So now I'm content to sit behind a Disdainful Stroke that will get anything major. And we're at parity. They're attacking for 2, we're gaining 2. And there we go. Stroke. Stroke the heck out of that thing. Resurgence. First Strike and Vigilance. That's kind of rough. Or we might have to chump here. Maybe not. Let's see. They have 10. No, we don't. They have 10 total, and we're going to gain 3. So I think we just let them do this. I don't want to just lose to a... Like, I was worried about... Well, block now, block next time doesn't really matter, so we'll think about that. We were concerned about... Although the invert invent shows that that's probably what was causing the pause, so maybe they don't have tricks and... They... Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to die to a no block, but I feel like we're going to lose if we don't successfully use the Gorgon as removal and the Guild Mage ongoing. So I think we have to risk it. It's possible we just lose here, but I think we have to risk it. So we have removal off the top, and we're going to gain life. And now at instant speed, we're a lot more comfortable, and we're still in the same stable place we were before, except now we have an Assassin's Trophy to catch any of that sudden scary stuff. Niv Mizzet is sudden scary stuff. They're going to get a card off of it. But let's see what they want to do attack-wise before we bother with anything. Okay, so they're doing that. Let's gain some life. Walking a tightrope here. Let's get some more action. That ain't action. I'm going to hold on to this now, too, because we have... well, I don't know. We have the Chemister's Insight in the deck that I don't want to forget about, but... they're not going to make us... They're not... If we Insight, I just might want to pitch the Forest to it is all. But this is pretty expensive. It's kind of a minor decision here, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it. If I'm not quite sure, I'm not gonna be fancy. I'm just gonna get my lands down. Okay. Forcing us into a block now. But we're not going to block with the Guild Mage. So I guess the Gorgon has to go down here, and then we're going to need some help. The Guild Mage can continue to counteract the Legionnaire, but we need... that's real trouble. Help, help, help! Okay, that's help, that's help. And it makes me happy I played my land. I guess we could have played it anyway, but that's what I mean. Like, that's the kind of thing I didn't quite think through that I'm glad I just was on the safe side with. Alright, before we even do that, let's plan our turn. We can get back the Poisoner and recast, or the Child. The Child is... Oops. No. The Child is interesting because it trades... Oh, no, it doesn't. We don't have the 2 power anymore. I was thinking the Child could trade. So the Child doesn't trade with anything, so I like that less. And I guess we just want the big Death Toucher back, because we want something we can cast this turn. We can get Dowser as well, but we can't cast Fine Broker and Dowser. We also have to make sure we don't die, though. Yeah, I'm at 2, so if I leave myself unable to do the Guild Mage, then we die. So I actually have to get the small Death Toucher. That's the thing to do. Then small Death Toucher. Now we have all of their stuff covered. Whew, almost punted that one, but found the line right at the last second. Well, played to our outs best we could. They got us though. Found a combat trick to sneak the last points through. Close one. Yeah, I mean, I was not. I didn't feel comfortable. Right, we were stable, but stable doesn't mean comfortable. It just means not currently dying. Excuse me. Multitasking here while waiting to pair. Unusual that we can't pair yet. I guess maybe this isn't the most popular of the limited options. I'm certainly not encouraging the world to throw their money at sealed. No swamp for the immediate poisoner, but the plaza makes me want to keep this. Do I have a favorite planeswalker? I read that and Garrick snapped into my head, so maybe that's the answer, but I think he was the planeswalker I was most enamored with when they came out. As a, I like green constructed decks a lot. And it's just a very combo-y type planeswalker. It has some straightforwardness to him. Wild Speaker, I mean. And I don't know if you mean favorite planeswalker card or favorite character. I assume you're asking what planeswalker card, which would be Wild Speaker. Like one of my favorite modern decks that's not really a competitive concern, but is good enough to be fun, is the Genesis Wave deck, and that uses my buddy Garrick. So we'll get our gate down. Let's remind ourselves what the agent does. Vigilance and destroys legendary stuff. Remember I was talking about how it's a pretty standard R&D design to have the new set contain rares that hose the overall strategy of the previous set? Welcome, Bounty Agent, right? You see it every time. It pushes the new set, and it also protects standard against mistakes that you didn't see. It's not pure greed, it's also protecting standard. So, Ladev Champ is going to have to eat a price of fame before it starts pumping out tokens, which we can do here. But let's eat, we'll cut their hand out. That's pretty weak, but that's good to see at least. We'll take that out of their hand. Then we get to kill the champ, and then we're staring at a couple of bears, which we're well positioned against if we can get a little more land here. That's kind of a bummer because the Blade Instructor, we have to choose between giving Oppo a Ladev champion activation or a Blade Instructor trigger. Like those, we can't stop both since neither are legendary. We could... I kind of like Plaza Poisoner, and then we look to put the Poisoner in front of Instructor, and then maybe they choose... Then we at least get... Well, that gives them both, right? How do we give them both? I'm going to let him have the Instructor activation, because we have answers to a couple of 3-powered creatures. I just don't want to have more things to have to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and play the Forest and Price of Fame the champ now. And let's see. Worm is going to be good eventually, but it's not good yet. Let's put it in the yard and keep the Guild Mage. It powers up the Lurcher to put it in the yard. Yeah. We had to go pretty low on life here. Maybe we're just dead from that. Maybe I wasn't life conscious enough. But Plaza... And we only get the Hired Poisoner down now. So we have to go to 1 and then cast 2 things that manage the board after that. If we draw a land, we can do that. So it looks like our hope here is Poisoner, Plaza, block, Bounty Agent or Instructor, untap, find a 6th land, and play Swarm Guildmage and Lurcher to try and stabilize. It's not a great plan, but it's what we've got. Right? Nothing really else that we can do here other than play the Lurcher. But then we can't play our Plaza, so... Not a great line, but I think this is the line we've got. I mean, they take out the Poisoner, we just scoop it up and move on. I didn't notice my opponent's username, that's cool. Yeah. You got it, Oppo. GG. Weird deck, but GG. Let's go look for a calendar. Dan V is asking about upcoming, and there's usually something on the main page you can look for. Maybe in help, learn more. Here we go. Event calendar. And then we can bring that up, go left monitor, and we see ranked draft becomes GRN. Looks like next in a couple days. And then becomes RNA, excitingly, the week after, or a couple weeks after that. So late April. Do that. I think I would play GRN. GRN fits my model for the free-to-play account in terms of turning gold into gems on draft sets that aren't rotating in standard in the fall. So there's the calendar. You can look it up right in there. Bummer, we're 1 and 2. Not what I expected. I like our deck a lot. But magic happens. No, Double D's, don't presume I'm on it. Please keep keep it up. Better safe than obstructed. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Dom draft. Feels like we've seen Guilds draft more recently than we've seen Dom draft. Maybe that's just my bad memory. All right, let's see what we can do in the 1-2 bracket. I really like this this format sealed in particular. Yeah, opponent goes first. We're gonna keep this. Got all our colors. Got stuff to do. Well, not till later, but this is a fine keep. Bottom line, I guess it has stuff to do. Pay 2 mana to play our land on turn 2. Intimidating turn 1 pet collector. Let's see what Oppo can do with it. I want to race up to the Vraska and get rid of it. That's a good sign. In that they could not at least make it big on turn 2. Ugh. Rough one. Man, we're getting seriously aggroed with some kind of weird decks, I gotta say. Well, I'm gonna go with the never... Can we go with the never happen? I mean, what the other thing we can do is Charnel Troll. And then on upkeep, like, pay to discard. We don't want to do that yet. So I'm gonna never happened. And at least try and keep him off of a big turn 4. We'll get rid of this Charger. The Sergeant's a concern. But Charger, gotta get rid of the Charger now. Set him back from doing anything next turn. And try and recover with a land draw of our own and this Price of Fame helping out. Or maybe Vraska. Although Vraska, if we use her to kill one of these, the other one can finish her off. So we'd like to try and protect her if we can. Starts with a land, though. And we didn't get there on land. Are we really going to 1-3 with this? Ugh. That would be brutal, but I guess we could just wander back to the paid account, or the free-to-play account, and do something else if that happens. I guess we have to play the... but the Guildmage is going to make the Pelt Collector bigger is the problem. I guess we play the Troll now, and set an upkeep stop. I mean, we need to, like, have it not... Because here's what we can do. If we Troll upkeep stop, we can, like, pitch the Guildmage to the Troll to keep it alive for another turn, and then or potentially have Severed Strands for it. I mean, it is what it is, right? Don't worry, this is the paid account. We're big money bags on the paid account. Whoa, 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 here we go. Let's do that. Didn't let me grab for a second. So I'm going to do that. It's a little awkward, but we're at a pretty low life total. We need to do some things here to not just die outright. Okay. Let's say we pay and ditch the Guildmage. This becomes a 5/5 that lasts for one more turn. It can at least trade with the Double Striker, which is probably what we're going to want it to do. And then we take 5 and go to... Or they hold back. Maybe we ditch the Indrik, and then we can at least play the Guildmage if we draw a land. Yeah, I like that. Let's do this and this. Ditching the Indrik. Land. Oh, come on, help us out. All right. I think that kind of doomed us. We actually had a chance if we found a land there to play the Guild Mage and set up to Severed Strands next turn, but failing to find a land there kind of kicked us while we were down to unrecoverable levels, I think. Wolf wants me to leverage my Morrow contacts to get the format up. I can't do that. All right, we're going to do this, make this trade. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, deck. You're a little late on this, but thanks. So now we got a Strands, or we've Fine Broker to have a blocker. Get the Troll back. At least the Fine Broker blocks a Pelt Collector at 3/3. If they make the Pelt Collector bigger, we're just... maybe even in scoop territory. I appreciate the confidence, Wolf. I can do anything, however, I cannot imbue Mark Rosewater with the power to change arena. Win this match? Maybe. We'll see. Under some no-joke pressure here. Ooh. Does that help? We can get Poisoner and Troll down and still take 2 in the air. Maybe we can just do... maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe we just do Price of Fame, the Legionnaire now, and accept if they want to suicide in with Hunted Witnesses. And then we also set up the draw. Yeah, let's do that. Need the land. We need the worm in the yard for Troll. That'll help with that eventually. Come on, let's find a way. Help us find a way. What's that last card? All right. There's our land. If we play the Foragers, we go back to 4. But Vraska is exile, right? Oh, it's destroy. How about Vraska destroy token? Could also do Swarm Guild Mage plus Troll, or Swarm Guild Mage... maybe I'm being fancy and we just drop the Foragers here. Yeah, I'm gonna just get another big beefy body down, get a little extra life, and then try to turn the corner hard from here. Yeah, now Vraska can come down and get the Instructor, and then we're in really excellent shape because we can go Vraska Poisoner. Ooh! Or we're dead. Why? You know, whatever. I'm not gonna, like... the cruelty is weird. Oh, no, it's... sorry. I was thinking that gave flight and we were dead. I was being all... gloom and doom like we were totally dead. Sorry. And sorry, Oppo. I thought Oppo was being super rude with the flying 4 power. As it is, we have to trade. We're going to trade the Fine Broker here and the Foragers here. Or not trade, I mean, we'll trade the Fine Broker here and eat the Witness over here. Interesting choice to put the token on the Witness, because you know we have to... It's going to die eventually anyway. I guess that doesn't matter. And let's see, we've got Poisoner. How many things can we do? We could do Poisoner Guildmage Strands, but we don't really need to do that. I kind of just like Gorgon Guildmage. And with the maximized velocity, they can't really cast with whatever they draw. So we even have an attack here, I think. I mean, red has haste, so it has natural haste that I need to consider. But if that's the case, the worst case is they have they have like a Bargent, and the soldier gets through, and these two can still do the job that they need to do on defense. And we do need to win eventually, so I'm going to start attacking. A little nerve-wracking, but it's also nerve-wracking to sit around and give your opponents a bunch of extra draws when you're barely hanging on. So that's a classic decision tension point in Magic, whether you are taking a higher risk to end the game early or lower risk to be more defensive but likely give your opponent more draws in the game. Well, it's... Yeah. I was just thinking about the bats. It's like, hey, bats would be a good clock for this situation, and here we've got it. I'm going to play the bats, and we're going to play another Poisoner, or another Death Toucher in the Poisoner. And hopefully the bats become our new weapon of opponent destruction, at least, if not mass destruction. Now that's great. If they're not, you know... I don't think there's lightning stress. What? I mean, there's lava coil. If you're talking about instant speed burn, there's command the storm, and there's there's also the is it card that does that. We'll go. Gosh, we don't even really need Vraska. What's going on in the yard? We got 2 creatures there for the troll. I'm actually going to sit on Vraska for now and actually get the troll going. We can gain 2, and then next turn, Guildmage on this team is probably just, might even be lethal. We'll see. Glad to be gaining some life now, though, too. That's going to help put us out of some danger. Short West is calling out that. Yeah, that's a... I think that was going to happen regardless of Vraska versus Troll. Maybe it's not like with Menace. Math is hard. Let's see what they do here. seem like they have an itchy card finger up there in terms of... seems like they have something maybe they can do. I don't know. We'll take a look. Okay, we can start sacking land, yeah, to Vraska. But also, we get... Guild Mage puts 3... They can only block one creature. So let's say they block the Troll, and it is got Trample. So they double block the Troll and get 1 life from that. But they can't block anything else. So they're at a virtual 15. And then the rest of the team is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But not 15, huh? Is there a way to get the Troll? But the Troll... And the Troll can't quite... I don't have a creature card to discard, but let's start with Vraska then. They can't triple block because... Oh, they can triple block, but yeah, so they can gain 2 life. Good point. If they triple block, they gain 2 life, so we'll keep that in mind. Thank you. See if we can find a win. Might have to be a little more patient. No, that's the math I was just doing, Wes.
Step aside or be crushed.
We could also, like, destroy a token, but let's go ahead and draw a card.
Its pain is our gain.
Yeah, we could. That's a good point. The trample matters there. Let's take a look at that. I also got this rope bearing down. So if we... I'll let the timeout go once. If we Severed Strands, say, the Poisoner on the Centaur, and then do the same attack, they put 2 on the Troll, but 3 trample through, 4 trample through. So then they'd be at a 4... I think that's starting to look good to me. But I don't want to... I'm running out of time. I don't have the mana anymore anyway, because of playing the Vraska, right? So let's just go with the bats now and think about that for next turn. Anything else I want to attack with? No. Oh, we could do the Troll. Yeah, I'm going to do the Troll. Do your... You know, if they want to trade the Rosemane off here, that's fine with me. This plan is still good. It's a turn more patient. And it really puts them on a hard choice with this Troll. It's going to get out of hand if they don't deal with it here. So it's kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. I'm totally happy with the trade. Oh, well, that's worse, of course, but... And they're doing that just in case? Interesting. Oh, I guess because they're worried that I might be able to pitch. That makes some sense. But no, they still get it. Yeah, even if I can pitch, you get it. They're just risking me not having... Or me having a creature. But I don't, so they're lucky they get this. But that's also nice that this is out of their hand. I'm still happy with where we're at. And... Given that, I think I do want to... I'm going to Severed Strands the Poisoner to take out the Rosemane. Because I think that just puts them in a spot where they're in real trouble to the Guild Mage ability. And again, it also keeps us from gaining additional life, but we did get 1 life out of that play. And then next turn... Vraska, if they don't have a creature to add, Vraska can take out one of the 1/1s, make none of them be able to block, and then we're attacking the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, alright, we got a game. It's not over yet. If they give the worm haste, we're going to have to throw a chump. We'll see what they do with the attacks, though. I still think we're okay. This doesn't have trample, right? Because we just go block worm like so, and then choose which one of these we give up to this lifelinker. But they're both going at us. What's more important? I think the foragers is actually more important from here on this board. Just a big 4/4 versus life gain. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Not quite sure that's correct. I think these cards actually have similar value given this board state. Oh, I should have blocked one. Yeah, sorry. Don't think it's going to matter. But that was a mistake. Let's see. Let's see what Vraska has for us. I'm going to keep drawing cards off Vraska. Here in this spot.
As long as we win, nothing else matters.
Oh, come on. The idea was that was going to be... going to find us something. I'm not going to block with the bats, so we'll keep attacking. Yeah, that was dumb, though. They should be down a 1/1.
Pain is weakness.
Their life total doesn't matter if we can tick up Vraska. Yeah, we win next turn on the Vraska ability. To the point that maybe I don't even attack, but they can even attack Vraska down 1 and it's okay. I'm not going to use the Deadly Visit on one of these tokens since Vraska can take a hit and still ultimate. Some loose play, but maybe we get this one. Or maybe they're finding a way. There's some really powerful cards in the format that could come out of nowhere. But we did it! Wow! That goes in the great game column, because I thought we were done with the whole event, frankly. And that goes to some mental attitude I need to adjust as well. There was that moment. There was early on when we were mana screwed. My mindset about the mana screw, I heard myself say it, was like, it was about injustice, you know, like, oh, we're going to go 1 and 3 with a deck that feels good. Like, that shouldn't be my mindset there. It doesn't, I know that that's true, but it's a waste of my brain power to consider the injustice of the loss we may be facing. Like, I used brain power on those thoughts instead of brain power on accomplishing what we eventually accomplished, which was coming back and winning the game. I mean, I can text him. I have his number right here. Yeah, let me text Mark. Oh, wait, I got a new phone and I have to go get into his contacts. Hey Mark, I'm streaming right now and my viewers demand that Arena put Dominaria Draft back into the rotation. I tried to tell them you don't control these things, but you know how that goes. Please make it happen immediately, comma, thank you. There you go. We'll see what Mark has to say about that. Here, I'll turn on my phone volume so if he gets back to us, we'll hear the alert. I had to include the make it happen immediately so he knew I was joking. All right. He probably would have figured it out, but you know. Also, Mark understands doing stunts for good television, right? Yeah. Q's, the sound of the wind blowing here is a little telling in how long it's taking to pair up. Mark says, tell them I'll think about it. Smiley. All right, looks fine. Here gets us the Guild Mage. I mean, D's, I demanded immediate satisfaction, but I don't know what to do past that. Wow. You know how much I respect that card? I respect it. Well, I should attack first, because there's no way they're blocking. But if for some reason they decide to, let's give them that chance. And I can wait till... Let's do it... I want to stop in their first main, go into full control. Yeah, I guess we don't want it countered. I'm just trying to give them their... I was thinking about giving them the land after their first main phase, so that's the consideration. We can do it before the attackers. I guess we don't even need to set a stop for that. We can do it before attackers and prevent the mana from being available in their first main, but then it's available in their second main. But some players make mistakes and will cast... They assume that they're on 2 mana or 3 mana, and they do something in their first main, and then we give them the land. The risk, of course, is they're playing blue, and we give them access to counter it. So we're really playing around. Like, if we do it now, it's because we don't want to get specifically have that uncommon counterspell get us. I don't think it will. I'm going to risk it. The other, yeah, doing it in their draw step also says it gives them 1 less draw step to find. Okay, so they didn't do it. But, you know, I think it was worth it. Like, some players will just dump a land and cast a 3. I will, frankly. That's one of my leaks that I'm trying to plug. But we could have potentially gotten some benefit out of a lazy play, from Oppo, and I don't think we're going to be punished with anything that counters that. So I'd rather not even let them look. Right, no 2 mana counter for trophy in the format, I do not think. I helped him with a splash, but I say no to the sprite. Well, we got stroke and life gain here. Peacetime Fawn, if we had anything in our hand, anything at all, that like in a couple of turns at least could have threatened the sprite, I would have ignored it. But I think the sprite, if you attack a few times, if an unblocked sprite is just really difficult to beat. Maybe I overreacted, I don't know. But I'm not unhappy. Could offer a trade here too, but Leapfrog is about to face a Forager, so there's no need to do that. We'll just take some damage. Well, I really like the first one. You know what I think of this one. Maybe we'll find an answer. Just a little late on that front, but at least we can never happen and keep up stroke. Actually, I don't really care about the Molder Hulk. Capture Sphere and Takedown are more relevant. We get to counter one, and we get to never happen one and stroke the other, so that's good. Fortunately, nothing to... I guess we'll take that one. And... be sad. I'm going to keep the Guild Mage back, both because if they don't play the Capture Sphere, we want to have life gain, and also it disguises the stroke. Well, not only does it cost 8, but like the worm will trade with it when it eventually shows up, right? So it's not a creature I'm too concerned about. I missed that. They go... Oh, there's still a sprite there, so they must have topped. Well, most of our deck is good draws. Land gets us to Worm, and Spell gets us to Stable. Just so. Let's see, if we... Vraska and be prepared to... Let's see, Leap... Oh, then they get the Unfettered Capture Sphere, and if we play Vraska and minus her... she's not going to survive. I really want to keep that stroke mana up. Really don't want to let them keep surveilling. They're probably going to go for the Hulk, and maybe we just end up letting the Capture Sphere take out one of our creatures and we counter the Hulk. I'm going to accept this situation and pass again with Stroke and Guild Mage up for another turn. Yeah, drawing a land would help a lot, because then we could Vraska with Stroke up, which is what I want to be able to do. So we're going to at least take one more turn to try and make that happen. We can't take this approach forever. There's an interesting question on the stream yesterday where I took a line like this on one turn and then immediately abandoned the line on the next turn and got a legitimate question about, like, you know, why was it right there and then suddenly not right the next time? And things can change from turn to turn that much, but it's little subtle changes that can tip the balance of what you think is correct. And if they can surveil a creature into the yard, then maybe they try, like they just did there. So now this, each creature in the yard, and I hate this, that, okay, so they got 2, yeah, so they'll probably try and cast that. Don't want to block the frog yet, I don't think. I think they're going to try something. We'll stroke here. Ugh. Not great, but now I'm just going to throw the... I guess I'll throw the foragers out and expect Oppo to use the capture sphere on it. And then Vraska should be safe to come down and clean up house after that. Guess we're not attacking, we're not doing anything with the Guild Mage, so we'll attack with it. A totally reasonable line. Not sure what's better for our win percentage, but that is the tricky part of this game. Ugh. Well, we got the land we wanted, but this crawl swarm is a real problem. We could vigor for nothing, so that doesn't matter. It just gives vigilance to something, basically, right? It does give vigilance. Yep, okay. Vraska would just die. Goes to 6. Well, she wouldn't just die. We could leave her at 1 if we wanted to distract these guys. Yeah, Worm is okay. Puts us in a spot where we can maybe try and race. They're just going to capture Spirit, though, which kind of makes me want to just put the Dowser out instead. So I am. Oh, okay, they're going to do that. I'm fine with that, too. I didn't expect that block. Maybe they are just figuring they can just get it back with more creatures or whatever. Well, Vraska's got to take out that thief. And unfortunately, that I think means... Let's see, what can we do? Can we afford to not block the leapfrog is what I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think we say no on the leapfrog block. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Because then we just have to block it next turn when it's protecting Vraska. So I'm going to let the Guild Mage go here. I guess I should have blocked leapfrog last time. We would have saved 3. Because nothing much changed. And yeah, I guess we have to trade Vraska for the thief and an attack from the sprite, and hope that we have enough to pull it out from there.
Your demise won't be quick or quiet.
We do have
I haven't forgotten how to destroy things.
we have our oh, we've already used it? Where is it? I don't see it in my deck anymore. Did I mill it? What's going on? Why don't I see it? Looking for our CCDD uncommon. We have it, right? Maybe this thing isn't showing the right...
Pity we couldn't have been allies.
Oh yeah, it didn't update. Fine Broker was what I was talking about. Yeah, I had it, MTGA tracker up, and well, whoever made that is no carpe diem. Let me say that. Or carpe mentum. But we'll see if it can figure it out. Okay. Probably have to stop them from doing this anymore. Do we need to do that right away? Yeah, Lurcher into Vigor is good, but maybe I'm being too paranoid about the Sprite at this point. All right, we're going to let him have the Sprite, and with 2 creatures in the yard, yes, it makes sense to go Lurcher into, because it's the same amount of damage attacking next turn. But we get to attack vigilantly. And we can attack into the lights even, so that's great. That Sprite doing work, I'm telling you. It sits there being amazing, but in kind of a subtle way that you can forget about. Let's see, we'll go ahead and play the land, and although maybe I should have held the land, because Rat Burglar would really hurt now. We don't want to lose that price just because I decided to whip that land out there. That would be justice. To get ratted now. Although if they had the rat, they might just pitch it to get the Crawl Swarm back under the assumption that I probably don't have much in my hand. District Guide. Make this trade and then price the Sprite potentially. Let's see, if we take this, we can just win though, unless they do something else. So let's just try. Let's take this and try and see if we can just win. They have a lot of mana though. I don't know. We could also draw something that removes too, so it's possible we get. Oh no, we are not winning next turn. Okay, well. That's cool, though. Well, we can take out the... Let's take out the Sprite and then use this on the ground defense. And we'll sit back. Now we'll take that Vigor Spore trade if the Dowser cares to attack. Although we could put... Could put 2 on it. All right. Gonna have to price that Whisperer, so... But it's okay. We have to go to 3 on this attack so that we can put these 2 here. Poisoner's a fine draw. Crawl Swarm is going to be a problem, though, eventually. Right now, we're trying to find a way to close out before we lose to that swarm. And in that vein, are there attacks here? We have Poisoner back for the Foragers. We attack with the Indrik and go to 1 if they want to. Well, we would go to 1 even if they don't attack with the Foragers because we wouldn't use the Poisoner on the guide. Going to 1 is pretty risky because it allows them to win on any creature attacking. So I'm going to be patient for this turn. Maybe we can't though. They've got a Locket to pop and a Swarm waiting to bring back. So we are in a very tight situation, and I'm not expecting to win this one, but we have outs. We have outs. But there you go. They had outs to snap it off. I think we fought the good fight there. A little disappointed with how this deck performed. But it wasn't amazing. It wasn't amazing. It was good. But yeah, a little underwhelming to go 2 and 3 there. But we do get some extra grind. So 600 in gems plus whatever we get here. 20. Another 20. All right, I'll log those grinds.